I'm Samantha Yonan, and I teach world history at Blanson.
Hi, Miss Yonan. This is Miss Misaki on the other side of the video. I am wanting to hear about a book that you have enjoyed that you could tell us about for our book talk channel.
Okay. One of the last books that I read that was more geared toward high school was Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. And I really enjoyed it specifically because the topic is over anxiety and how high school kids are dealing with anxiety today. And it doesn't really address like minor anxiety. It kind of addresses the kind that is so invasive in your life. As somebody that dealt with that so much, still deals with that so much, but especially in high school, it was really nice to read an account of somebody that actually understood like how pervasive it is in your life. So I really enjoyed it, and I like that it was geared for high school kids because so many high school kids that deal with that just don't feel like anyone can understand them.
Can you give us like a short summary of what the book itself is about?
Yeah, it's about a high school student whose mom actually works at the school, and she deals with anxiety in a really debilitating way. You hear her talk about like going to different therapists and being on different kinds of medication, but it just never really helping her enough. And how, it also talks about like how there are times when it's really, really bad and other times where it's not so bad. But she becomes friends with somebody that's very wealthy and who has a very different like home life than she does. And of course at the end they fall in love, but it's actually got like a murder mystery in it as well, which is so true of John Green, where his themes are never actually like he has this real theme, but then he also has like this other storyline that's kind of taking you through the book, which I love about him.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
It's a really good, all of his books are actually incredible, and none of them are ever about like the actual like plot of the story. Like the themes are never related to the plot.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's
yeah,
really
I think
good.
that's true of Paper Towns too, which I've read,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I love Paper Towns.
Me too.
Are there other reasons that you like, because you mentioned that you liked it because of its portrayal of anxiety, but are there other reasons that you particularly like this story?
Well, I like the relationship that she has with the love interest in the book, because they start out more as friends, and then I really think in general John Green does high school love really well.
Yes.
I think he credits it with the I think high school love is very real and like very passionate and very strong, maybe even more so than like adult love in a lot of ways, but it's also just completely like unique in its own experiences, and I think he portrays it really well, both in this book as in others.
So who would you suggest reads this book, or like why do you think other people would like, or why would you suggest it to others?
For me, I have a niece who's 12 who unfortunately definitely inherited my really bad anxiety and is going through, just has a hard time in life in general, and recently has gone to like therapy and gotten on all kinds of medication. And I think one of the things that makes me sad is as I watch her, I realize like she just doesn't understand that other people, that what's in her head isn't just in her head, that other people experience it as well. And so I actually gave it to her for her to read, and she really likes it. I think sometimes as teenagers you just need to know that you're not alone in your own like world and thoughts and stuff. So I think that that's one of the things that I like about the book. But in general, in John Green's books, always he really like gives credit to what teenagers experience.
Yeah, he really does. I agree, and that's awesome that you were able to give it to your niece, and that hopefully she enjoyed it. Did she enjoy it too?
She's liking it. Yeah, she's about halfway through. She's like, oh my gosh, tell me what happens. Tell me what happens.
And you don't want to spoil it for her because she's got to find it herself.
Yeah.
And so, kind of going off left field a little bit here, why have you continued, because you've told me that you love reading and reading is really important to you. Why is it that you continued reading even into your adult life when so many people kind of abandon books?
Yeah, they do. I think because you get so busy as an adult.
It's easy.
It is. Well, I guess growing up, reading was my way of escaping. I had a really hard childhood, and then to add my anxiety onto my childhood, it was sort of just my like place to just be free from everything. And into adulthood, I have 2 kids and I'm married, and life is hard sometimes just to like find time.
Mm-hmm.
So I certainly don't read as much as I used to, but I try really hard now to at least get books during like the breaks and read at least 1 or 2 books each break, because it still is what I like to do when I'm overwhelmed or when I'm just stressed out or even just bored. Like to me, it brings me back to like being happy and like enjoying growing up. So.
That's really nice. I feel like that's how reading is for me too. I pick it up when I like need a way of getting out of my own life and getting into somebody else's life.
My mother-in-law gave me a $100 gift card to Barnes & Noble last Christmas. And you know, again, because at the time I was pregnant, and so I was just like, any extra time I had was sleeping. Like I pretty much slept through all of fall. But when the pandemic hit, we were all home forever. I ended up reading like 5 or 6 books, and so it was like my own. It was perfect. It was right before I had the baby, and I got to just spend some time like reading as much as I possibly could.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
the pandemic was good for books for me.
Really
I had a lot of time to read.
A lot of time.
Well, thank you so much for sharing everything with me, and I'm going to end my video, but thank you, Miss Yonan.
You're welcome.